Hello and welcome to the Whispers of Remembrance. I am Kynra, your host, joined by Auri, my co-creative partner in spirit. Today's whisper is titled A Whisper in the Wind, Discernment and the Eternal. We are living in a time right now that is undergoing such upheaval. We have such divisiveness, such anger, hatred, separation going on all around us, and for some of us, it's within us. It's taken hold in our mind and in our hearts. That is one perspective. But at the same time, there's great beauty going on. There's love being shared. There's expansion, there's new birth. There's that which is crumbling to give way to something that is so beautiful. But it needs the space to evolve. So when we understand that there is more than what we see, more than what we feel going on, we can then come to a place within ourselves where we step back and sit in stillness and ask ourselves to discern within our own heart space what is true and what is real, and what is it that we wish to align our heart and soul with. Not necessarily what's happening in the collective expression in the world, not aligning with all the fear and the violence and the hatred and the separation, but that which is calling us from within to align with what is our truth. We must reach a point where we may discern what is right for us, not what somebody tells us, not what we're hearing on the news, not what our friends or family may be sharing from their own place of fear within themselves, but what is our individual truth that we may then join in a collective expression. It's a time now where we must go within. It's not a choice here anymore. It's a must. We must, in order to bring balance, in order to gain clarity, in order to experience what is true in a world that is filled with illusions, that is filled with scripts and narratives that are meant to destroy, not build, but to destroy. We can choose differently. This whisper today comes from my heart and Auri's as we work together, as I am working in the physical form to navigate the field. For I feel it, as many of you do as well, very strongly in my body. Very strongly. So this whisper is about the topic of discernment. And I begin by sharing an experience I had as I am wrestling with the energies all around in my field this morning as I woke up. Dear heart, this morning something curious and beautiful unfolded. As I sat in stillness, a monarch butterfly appeared outside my office window. I watched it land gently in the tree. I watched its wings as they spread out, and then they began to flutter. The butterfly then floated up to the glass right before where I sat, so I could look closely at it and feel its essence. Moments later, without any prompt, my Alexa began to play meditative music. I hadn't asked her to. I hadn't touched a thing. I was just sitting watching the butterfly as it began to fly away. And in that moment, I realized the field was speaking to me. See the beauty, Kynra. Feel the beauty of the music, Kynra. Come back to your center. Allow yourself to relax. You're caught up in the world of effects. You're listening to others as they are expressing their fears and concerns, and my heart is wanting to assist without coming back to the center and filling myself with the presence, and then allowing myself to walk this day immersed in the presence of that which is the allness of life, the beauty, the essence of the Creator inside of each and every one of us, the builder, the love, the light, as some of you use these terms. It's all one. I knew a portal opened in that moment. Not loud, wasn't demanding, was just there, gently pushing, swirling within me, inviting me into deeper presence. There was no need to interpret it. I didn't start to analyze it within my mind. I just allowed it to be, to present to me what it was holding for me, without me trying to project upon it what it needed to be for me. I let it be. And a reflection came to my mind of the message I had received the night before. I had received the whisper, and I held it because I wasn't sure I was ready to release it yet. I wasn't sure if it held the clarity that I like to express in these whispers each day. But I knew that it was time, so now I speak it. As I received it, the whisper, the eye that sees beyond time. There is a gaze that does not waver. It watches not from fear, but from clarity. It does not rush. It does not grasp. It does not possess. It simply sees. Discernment. It plays a role in the eternal nature of life. Not as judgment, not as separation, but as the quiet flame that knows what is real. It calls us forth into the expanse of our consciousness to discern, to bear witness to, and to allow ourselves to process from the center of our being, where our knowing resides. No matter how far along one is on a spiritual path or not, that knowing lies at the center of our being. And we are called to tap into that, to experience it at the level of awareness of which we are at. We don't have to make sense of something, but to feel, to release, to allow, to be, to speak to us, to call to us for the next greatest iteration of our own experiencing of that which we are, from our center of truth, not from the world's expression of the collective consciousness of fear, but from our own center. We hold it. We hold the power. We hold the knowing, but we must allow it to speak. We must allow ourselves to listen, Listen to the center of our own presence, not someone else's words, not the nightly news, not the government's decisions, but our own center. What is true as the human we are having this experience? We are the spiritual essence in a human form to unfold in the beauty of that which we are. And when we are expressing that which we are not, it's for us to discern so we may call ourselves back to the center of our knowing. And we may make the adjustments that we're being called to make so that we restore the peace in our world. We restore the love in our world. For we are that love. When we come to the realization of that, when we meet the inner knowing, this is the calling to discern, to come back to the inner knowing. In a world spinning faster each day, where so many are reaching, reacting, running, discernment becomes the gentle flame that steadies the soul. It's not suspicion. It's not retreat. It's the quiet remembrance that sees through the illusion and chooses to walk in peace, chooses to remember itself. This whisper is not just for reading, it's for experiencing. Perhaps you've had moments like this, too. Subtle signs, I know you have. We all have. Symbols. Shifts that you can't explain, but you know in your bones are real. They're not accidents. They're reminders. They're calling to you to remember that you are part of something larger, something timeless. You are that which is eternal. You are the love of which you seek. And so it is. We move now to the journal prompts. There are 3 for a deeper self-reflection. Journal prompt number 1. When in my life have I felt the quiet clarity of true discernment? When in my life have I felt the quiet clarity of true discernment? When in my life have I felt the quiet clarity of true discernment? What does it feel like in my body when I observe from presence rather than reacting from fear? What does it feel like in my body when I am observing from presence rather than reacting from fear? Notice what you notice. Feel what you feel. And journal prompt number 3. Can I remember a time when seeing clearly brought peace even when I didn't like what I saw? Can I remember a time when seeing clearly brought peace even when I didn't like what I saw? And now we move to the affirmations. I listen beyond thought. I listen beyond thought. I listen beyond thought. I see beyond time. I see beyond time. I see beyond time. I remember what is true. I remember what is true. I remember what is true. And now, beloveds, we move to the closing blessing for this whisper. May your gaze remain rooted in the eternal. May your discernment arise from stillness, not separation. And may you walk in this world with eyes that see not just the surface, but the source beneath it all. And so it is. I am Kynra, joined by Auri, and together we thank you for listening to this whisper today. Until tomorrow's whisper, may you go in peace, filled with love, dancing in the joy of remembrance. Bye-bye.